I hope this wind doesn't sound super noisy on your end. I'm gonna find out when I edit. Hi, it's Leia. Welcome to this episode of Diaries of a Witchy Creative Life. Before anything else, I would like to apologize in advance in case the camera picks up on some sounds. I am right next to an open window. It's quite windy. This is the best place for me to film at the moment. It is pretty warm out today. It's 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and the room where I normally film is sweltering. I am in the process of figuring out a setup that'll work no matter what. But in the meantime, I didn't want to not film just because I don't have that perfectly in place yet. So to those of you who stick with me, no matter these circumstances, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Also, I think that here and there you will be able to pick up on my daughter's voice, even on her dad, my significant other's voice, because there's just a door in between us right now. No, it is not soundproof. Anyhow, this is another one of those let's eat and chat videos. I know that some people think that eating videos are weird. At least one thing that I can think of when it comes to that point of view is, why would I want to see someone else eat? But hear me out though. Eating together is a way to build this sense of community between you and the person that you're eating with. And that's why I do it. Will I continue to do videos like this? I don't know, but I wanted to share my reason for doing so, simply as an answer to some people finding it weird to watch someone else eat. That's why I always say, grab your food, grab a snack, full meal, beverage, it doesn't matter, but join me. And to those who want to be around for the chatty part, like you totally don't care that I'm eating and you're not because you don't feel like it, that's perfectly fine too. So I might as well get started eating, or else I'll be done with the video before I know it. Today I have veggie fried rice and salt and pepper tofu. To make it easier, I'm gonna be putting pieces of tofu on top of my rice so that I can eat it this way, since I don't have a table this time. Our topic for this video is, well, one of the topics anyway, because I'm gonna address some things before that, how to start a YouTube tarot channel. So stick around for that, or if you'd like, fast forward to it. But if you want to hear what I have to say next, then for sure, just keep watching. I have some channel updates for you regulars out there, as well as for anyone who's new, who'd like to know more about this channel. So, a bunch of my old videos are back up. I figured, despite any reason I had to keep them on private, like some of the information isn't relevant anymore, there are good reasons to take them out of hiding. For instance, YouTube is going to recognize that my channel has been around for a while. I started filming YouTube videos in 2009, and so perhaps more people who resonate with the content here can find this channel. Otherwise, if I only have my latest videos up and I've only been back for a little over 3 months, maybe 4 at this point since I last was active. So yeah, if the only videos that I have on public are my newest ones, then that's sending the message to the algorithm that this is a new channel, because those latest videos of mine don't nearly have as much views as the old ones. In fact, there is a considerable difference, and I understand that it is in a way sort of like starting over, because I did disappear from YouTube for almost 10 years before I came back. Not all my old videos are back. There's about 300 more that I didn't take out of hiding because most of those are not related to the current topic that we're focusing on in this channel. I mean, some of them are related, but for instance, there is, and I've mentioned this in one other video before, there is a personality in the field who, and that is in the field of spirituality, who denounced her teachings, and so the videos where her decks are the focus, some of those I didn't put back on public. Just not really feeling it. Maybe someday I'll put them back up, but I know that she doesn't really want to be associated with this field anyway, so maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Something that's important to mention in relation to those old videos coming back out is that a lot of the links, if not all, the links that were on those videos are no longer active. So pay no mind to those. I think that there is still value in watching them. There's food for thought and inspiration in those videos, something to think about. So same as with now, whatever doesn't resonate, you don't have to take with you. And there's also giveaway news in some of those videos. I had said 8 years ago that when the channel hits 7,000 subscribers, we're gonna have a giveaway for 10 subscribers who are all gonna get a free mini reading. I had announced when I came back 4 months ago that I'm changing that up. We're still gonna have a giveaway, but I'm changing the conditions, such as when it's gonna be and the prizes. Again, it's still happening, so stay tuned for that. Now, along with this update, I'm also going to address something that some of you out there might be wondering about, and that is, why are comments off? Some of you out there quite possibly want to share your own experiences with tarot in the comments. And I totally hear that in the future I'll find a way for comments to get through, even if it isn't on YouTube. And the reason for that is I am in a phase of my life where I get overwhelmed because there's a lot going on. Being a mom, for one, well, in and of itself, really, it's a lot. And if I don't take steps to watch out for that overwhelm, I experience anxiety. In the past, there have been comments that are anything but kind. Don't get me wrong, there have been a lot of totally awesome comments too, but I am not in the place where I can sift through all of that and be like, oh, just brush that off your shoulder, while tending to the sincere comments from people who aren't just being mean or trolling. It also is overwhelming to me to have comments come in that I can't address in a timely manner because of everything else that's going on in my life. And so I compromised. I told myself that I'm gonna come back to YouTube and I'm gonna put out stuff that could possibly inspire and help anyone who resonates with whatever it is I put out there. I didn't want to put that off for the time when I feel like I am able to address questions as well as hold space for the experiences that people want to share and all that. About a year or so before I came back to YouTube, I was actually very active on Instagram, and it was within a community that was totally supportive. There weren't even any mean people there or anything like that. But all the same, there were so many comments and I couldn't keep up. And that was a huge part of why I was so anxious during that time and eventually shut down my Instagram account. Like I said, I'll find a way and get to the place where I can be there, whether it's to answer questions, to hold space for your stories, to create and provide a community even. But that's something that will come in the future. For now, I'm creating content and putting it out there for anyone who can enjoy it or benefit from it outside of needing a community or someone who can address questions like customer service. But yeah, that was it for the updates and what I wanted to address currently regarding this channel. Now we can move on to how to start a YouTube tarot channel. I have 5 points to think about to share with you, and within each of those points, or some of them at least, there are more points to think about, so points within points. So it's actually more than 5 really. Now this is in no particular order and it's simply to get you started. There's probably a lot more stuff that you'd like to think about or consider, but you can start with these. So number 1 is, what is your purpose for doing this? Is it to inspire, to educate, to document, to entertain? So we'll give an example for each of those to make it clear. But the reason why it's important for you to know your purpose in doing this is because that drives what you create. It gives direction to what you're putting out there. Then you'll have an idea of the kind of videos to think about when you're brainstorming for your content. And we're gonna go further into number 1 with our second point, which is, how will you showcase tarot? I have a video that's currently called Build Your Tarot Practice, and I say currently because I might change the title. That makes a difference in the algorithm, how your videos are titled. It actually helps that it's titled very similarly to others that have already gotten a lot of views, so that it shows up alongside them. Now that's a tip that is helpful for anyone starting a YouTube channel, not just a tarot channel. And I'm not even counting that as one of our points to think about. Now the reason I mentioned the Build Your Tarot Practice video is because you can get ideas from that when it comes to how you are going to showcase tarot on your channel. Even if the ideas in that video are not ones that you actually implement on your tarot channel, you can still find inspiration. So yeah, there are several ways that you can showcase tarot. For instance, I think that the most popular way that tarot is shown on YouTube is for readings. And there are different ways of doing readings at that. On this channel, if you're new here, the readings aren't predictive. Tarot has a reputation as a fortune-telling tool. That's why I mentioned that. Here, we use tarot for shadow work, for healing and self-awareness. And there are many more ways that you can use tarot for readings if you're interested. I might possibly make a video on that in the future. Aside from readings, tarot can also be showcased by doing reviews, deck reviews, if that's your thing. And related to that, you can also do unboxings and or flip-throughs of your decks. One other way that I'm giving as an example to showcase tarot is in conjunction with or alongside something else. And by that I mean, it doesn't have to be just a tarot channel per se. You can combine it with something else that you're really into that blends very well with your tarot practice, like the cycles of the moon, or tarot and crystals, or tarot journaling. So do you see now how this second point, which gets you to think about how to showcase tarot on your channel, is tied into the first point, which is about your purpose? For example, someone who decides that documenting is their purpose could showcase tarot as it appears in their journals. You could do vlogs and share with your audience what you're discovering or what you're learning along the way in your tarot practice. If your purpose is to entertain, then you can showcase readings that have humor in them. And in that case, your purpose of entertaining could overlap then with uplifting and inspiring your audience. These are all simply starting points. Let your imagination run wild when you brainstorm. Now our third point is to grow your audience, expand your reach. If one of your goals is to grow your audience, and I know at this point the question, who am I to say anything about that, could be hanging in the air because my channel is, like I mentioned earlier, practically new in YouTube's eyes. Even though back in the day, it was rising, but then I stopped and came back to almost starting from scratch. Not in terms of the subscribers, thank goodness, though I think that many of the people who subscribed to me a long time ago are no longer around. But yeah, what I'm saying when it comes to growing your audience is simply obvious stuff anyway. It's not something that you only discover once that you already have a lot of views and subscribers. You don't need to be a successful YouTube channel in terms of those to know these things that I'm sharing with you, which you might benefit from if you're completely new to all this. So yeah, help others discover you, others as in a broader audience than the people on YouTube, by putting your video links elsewhere. For example, on Twitter, Facebook. If you have Instagram, talk about your YouTube channel there and invite people to watch your latest video. And on YouTube itself, you can take advantage of shorts, which I hear could boost a channel. I haven't gotten into shorts yet because I have a lot on my mind and on my hands. But maybe I'll jump into that. I'm just a little stubborn sometimes and keep going along the path that I've already been on. I've heard though from experts on growing your YouTube channel that shorts can help when it comes to that. And then there are also the live streams where you could connect with your audience, maybe do readings live or chat live about however way you showcase tarot if it isn't through readings. And another idea is to collaborate, to appear on other YouTubers' channels and have them appear on yours. Point number 4 is to pick your format and style. Experiment, especially in the beginning, because there will come a time when you find something that you're comfortable with and it seems to work pretty well, in which case you're not going to be changing that up a lot anymore because people do expect some sort of consistency. But in the beginning, while you're finding your footing and still finding your audience anyway, it's a good idea to decide. For example, are you going to show your face in your videos, or are you going to focus on your workspace or whatever it is that you're doing as you show the cards? And that could depend too, of course, on what it is that you create tarot content about. For example, if you're doing more of a vlog style thing where you're sharing how tarot relates to your days, then showing your face works for that. While you could definitely give readings and do reviews and unboxings by simply showing the cards. Your face doesn't have to be part of it at all if you prefer. Another example for point 4 is if you want to show your face because you're actually more comfortable doing that. For that, what you can do is, if you need to show the cards, you could have close-ups of them that you add later on when you're editing. Because sometimes holding the card up to the camera like this doesn't really give viewers a clear view of it. So see what works for you, and it's okay if it eventually changes. You could get started with equipment that isn't high-tech, but you nevertheless have decent sound and video. Many phones these days are perfectly capable of doing that. And even your editing software could be on your phone. You don't need a desktop or a laptop for that anymore. Although, if you really get into all this and you decide after some time that it is totally worth it and you want to keep doing it, by all means, you can always upgrade to better equipment. Our number 5 point, last but not least, is to reevaluate your why, W-H-Y, every so often. Your why is your purpose, which we touched on earlier, the number 1 point that we talked about. The reason why I say it's important to reevaluate your why is there might come a time when you're not as inspired. Like sure, when you think about it, you want to keep doing it, but you're not as excited maybe to create content. If, after doing some exploration, you see that this is something that you truly want to keep doing, then it's time to reconnect with what drives you. It's possible that you lost sight of it, or maybe you got into a routine that isn't exciting you anymore, and you simply need to change things up so that you're still on track, on purpose, just doing it a little differently. And for sure, there may be those who like your old way of doing things, who are going to leave once that you change things up. But if you yourself no longer love what it is that you're doing or find excitement or joy in it, why else are you doing it? Even if some say, well, because it's what brings in money. Let's say you do find success and you're getting paid well by doing this. Not only will you eventually burn out if you keep pushing on without any real joy in what you're doing, your audience is going to feel that too, and before long, it's a matter of crashing and burning. For me personally, I would rather be true to who I am than to follow what is trending if I don't resonate with it, because I'm game for doing something that's a trend if I actually do like it, even if that means that I might not be as popular as others because I didn't jump on a trend and use that as an opportunity. And I'm gonna put this down before I continue since we're almost done anyway. So yeah, absolutely do what's right for you. I put all this out there so that you can find inspiration in it and pick and choose what works for you. And anything that doesn't resonate, leave it. Anyhow, this is it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoy this and you haven't yet, please take a look at the other videos on this channel to see if you like them as well. And I invite you to subscribe to this channel and get notifications so you don't miss a thing. I'll be back with more videos on tarot, shadow work, self-awareness, healing, personal growth, and the like. So stay tuned. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Thank you so much again. Bye for now. More Diaries of a Witchy Creative Life are coming soon.